Welcome in, guys, and I am back to do another mock draft. Yes, I know I've done a couple of these, but this is after the combine. Probably going to be the last one I'm going to do now till the draft. I still have the scout reports. I'm going to still do some scout reports as well. As many as I can before draft day, and maybe I'll kind of find like a draft story I can talk about as well. But yeah, this is kind of probably going to be, like I just said, my last mock draft I'm going to do, because again, I'm going to be focusing more on scouting some of these guys, and I've watched most of these guys now, so I've got a better understanding of where I think they're going to go in the draft and where I think teams are going to go. Now again, I haven't implemented this time. Last time we did the draft, we did the mock draft, and I sat here a few weeks ago. I was doing the last mock draft after the Super Bowl, and then I added the whole thing where there could be trades, which ultimately there is going to be trades before this draft. But like I did the first time, I'm just going to add the teams exactly as they are in the first round, and just give you my opinions after the combine. So, as it stands right now, the Titans still have the number one spot for the 2025 draft. So for the quarterback position, they absolutely need to address a lot of things in this draft. They need weapons on the offensive line, work on defense, but again, most importantly, they need a quarterback. Again, you don't want to be here in 2 years' time in 2027. You're like, yeah, we need a quarterback again, guys. Cam Ward or Sheadur Sanders didn't work out. We're back there again like we was in 2023 when Will Levis didn't work out. But we're again, for this one, I've gone for Cam Ward. From Miami. Again, you can make a toss up on who you think you're gonna go for, but I've gone for Cam Ward, from Miami, to be the quarterback for the Titans, and then for the skid marks, the Browns. The skid marks is what I've seen a couple of days ago is that they're gonna give Myles Garrett a new contract. Thank you, skid marks. The gift that keeps on giving is the Cleveland Browns. When again, just inject that into my veins that Myles Garrett wants out. He's tired of being part of the skid marks. He's in his late 30s now. He wants to try to be with a championship winning team or a team that's contending for a championship. But again, a day or two ago, the Browns and Myles Garrett's agent come together, and they're now signing him to another multi-year deal. Fantastic. So that defensive Myles Garrett is staying, baby. But yeah, for the Browns, I have Ashton Jeanty. Yeah, that's right. I've gone for a running back. To get drafted second. I just think, in my opinion, I've scouted him on the channel again. This you'll see this. Well, yeah, you'll see that video before you see this. So, but I'm just really impressed with Ashton Jeanty. Again, there's still some flaws in his game, but again, you can work on that. But again, he'd be a great option for the Browns. But because I think, especially in the second round, I just think with the Browns, like they'll probably go. That's why for the Browns they'll go for a running back. So that's why I've gone for Ashton Jeanty, and then probably in the second round they can go for like a Will Howard or a Jackson Dart in the second round, because again, you're probably looking at the next guy I have here for the Giants. I have Sheadur Sanders going to the Giants from Colorado. Again, if the Giants really want to see, again, Brian Daboll's on the hot seat this season, so is the Giants GM. They need to get themselves a quarterback, and if I'm the Giants, I'm getting, again, Cam Ward's going to go 1 to the Titans. I'm looking at number 3 here, Sheadur Sanders at 3. That is a guy that I would look for as to build around, and then maybe in the later round, maybe like a second round, or you can maybe trade up and then you can get yourself a Cam Ward at 3. If Cam Ward comes available at 3, like I said, Jeanty goes at 2nd, and then you can have like Sheadur Sanders goes at 3. Then you've got yourself your quarterback there for the Giants, and then you can build around the quarterback, especially in free agency and the draft and stuff like that. So you can, again, second, day 2, day 3, you can get some weapons around Sheadur Sanders for the Giants. For the Patriots, only thing for the Patriots this season is that they need weapons around Drake May, and they need to protect Drake May. So for this first round pick, they have a first round pick, fourth overall. I've gone for an offensive tackle here, Will Campbell, offensive tackle from LSU. Again, the name of the game is to see what you have with Drake May in year 2. My big concern is, and I said this when I did my Patriots review a few weeks ago, is that he's on the Mike Vrabel, and Vrabel doesn't really like to develop young quarterbacks. We saw that in Tennessee with Will Levis. He would pick Tannehill over Will Levis, but Drake May's a lot better and a lot more. There's more potential in a Drake May than there is in Will Levis. We all know that. But what they need someone to protect Drake May. They need an offensive tackle. Will Campbell. Again, they could do what the Cardinals did a couple years ago when they got, I think they got, whoever it was, they got 2 defensive players, or like one, and then they got Will. They traded up in the 3rd overall a couple years ago, and they got Will Anderson Jr. So this is where the Patriots would go for Will Campbell at 4, and then trade up again, maybe at 6, and then you go for like you go for a Tyrell, a Warren, or somebody like that at tight end. But for now, I've only got them going for like a Will Campbell offensive tackle. Then going down a bit here, I have the Cowboys drafted more focusing on the offensive, on the defensive side of the ball. Tyler Booker from Alabama. And then I'm looking at like the Raiders. Now that they have Geno Smith, they need a weapon around Geno Smith. They need some good weapons around him. So Luther Budgeon, the 3rd wide receiver from Missouri. I scouted him not too long ago, so I picked him to be a weapon for Geno Smith. Then we're going to go a bit further down here, and you're going to look at like the Texans. I'm looking at the Texans. They need someone in the offensive line to protect C.J. Stroud in his 3rd year, and I'm looking at Josh Simmons, offensive tackle from Ohio. No, I'm looking at Josh Cornell, offensive tackle from Oregon, especially to protect C.J. Stroud. I mean, you look at the Texans, they have a good offensive line. They have a good weapons around around C.J. Stroud, like they have Stephon Diggs, they have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, if he's healthy, Tank Dell, but they have some pretty good options. And then looking at like the Bears, they need a weapon for Caleb Williams in year 2. They need some better weapons around Caleb Williams in year 2. And I'm looking at Tetariora Mcmillian, a wide receiver from Arizona. Then for my team, the Lions, something that we have to address is this offseason is we have already defensively, but more defensive cover, and we need to get an edge. And I've got James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. That is who I picked for the Lions. And then, like for the Chiefs, you're looking at running back for the Chiefs. That's a position that they need to address. So I've gone for Caleb Johnson, running back from Iowa. I'm just gonna nail a couple more that I've just like picked. Like I've got in my for the Bengals. The defensively is exactly what they need to work on. Mykel Williams, safety from Georgia, and then for the Rams, they need an offensive tackle as well. So Arote Aries from Minnesota, and then for the Eagles, I've gone for a defensive line. Get some more cover on that defensive line. T.J. Sanders from South Carolina. So I'll have all my picks, all my first round mock draft in the comments in the description box, so you can have a look at that. in full, but I give you kind of some people that I've picked out and that I talked about. So anyway, I will have some more scout reports coming up in a few days. I'm gonna sit back and put some more up on the channel, and yeah, that's it, guys.